Friends, hello, howdy doody. It is midway in the week here. We're at Wednesday and it is a fun week so far in the market. Let's talk about DJT, Trump Media here. I still want to call it Digital World. I know, it's been 2 years. So I've got to get that right here. But let's talk about what happened here with this and maybe some other things too. So I talked about this Monday, I believe. And Monday, we were starting to finally see sell-off in this stock. It looked like we were finally seeing it. And then we had yesterday. And yesterday we had a little bit of a push in the stock, even hitting at $52, which was kind of crazy, to be honest. And then today we are once again seeing the stock still hold a pretty high ground. So, you know, when we talk about what should be happening with situations like this thing should be dumping a lot faster, but it's not. So it's leaving a lot of people to where, you know, me especially, because I've given my thesis and my theory about what I think this thing's potentially doing here. What is it doing? What is Trump Media stock here doing, and what is it gonna do? Is it going to stay in this $40 range? Are we going to go down to a 45, back to a 48? Are we going to go back into the 30s here? That is everyone's question right here about what's happening. And obviously, me talking about this, I see everyone's, side of it. Most people think that, yes, this is going to go down. And there's a majority of people that think this is going to keep finding its way up. And, I don't know that there's a right answer and a wrong answer for that, but I will give kind of what, my thought on what we're seeing here so far. So with this, we are seeing a stock that is just merged with a company, Digital World Acquisition and Trump Media moved in together, and now they are one. And Trump Media here, connected to Truth Social, whatever you want to say, is now on the NASDAQ, where you can invest in it as an investor. And so far, the bad news that's broke with the stock so far is that the company reported that it lost $58 million last year, and now there's more bad news. Go figure. Two brothers pled guilty in federal court Wednesday today for their roles in a $22 million insider trader scam connected to the company that took former President Trump's social media company public, Digital World Acquisition. So I'll put a little bit of this up here where you can see it. But and that news really didn't hurt the stock today. Now, when that news first broke, probably about 40 days ago, maybe, with a little bit that we knew, it did hurt Digital World Acquisition. But today, even with that kind of coming out still, I don't really think the stock took damage. Today was a downer, but it wasn't awful. I think we're saying awful because I think most of us here, I think it's pretty safe to say we're expecting the stock by now to really sell off. Really sell off to where, people are getting out of it. But we're not seeing a mass exodus yet in this. We're not seeing that. What we are seeing is a stock being traded pretty heavily still pretty heavily and aggressively at that. Still some pretty decent volume on a daily schedule, Monday through Friday. So with that, and this is kind of what I talked about last week, I was like, this potentially, we could see the Trump Media stock here, fall back into the 40s, high 50s, maybe even, mid 30s. But the fluctuation on it to where, day traders use it to where, it's having even a bad day is somewhat of a good day compared to what it, should be. And looking at this candlestick chart here, kind of breaking this down, we can see the action a lot clearer here with what's going on. But, we've got this sell-off here, and that's, where we started to hit this $50 range. And, last week we had, with the merger, we had the 70, now we're back down to the 50. That's a $20 difference right there. Now playing around this high $40, $50 range here. And, it leaves a lot of room for day traders to move in here and really snatch up a lot of money on a day-to-day basis. I mean, these are huge gains with losses, but bigger gains coming back. So it really is, asking the question, how manipulated is this stock going to be here? Can it continue to do this? So if you don't know, my kind of theory on this right now is that this stock is going to be a rogue stock this year. It's going to be highly manipulated. I think we could definitely see a general big sell-off here with this stock. And I'm kind of standing by that because there just has to be. There has to be some sort of big sell-off in this before we see another big climb. There just has to be some kind of sell-off here. And I don't think this is a sell-off. I don't think this is like a huge sell-off, to be honest, because if you've been with the stock, this stock being in the $40 range is normal when we talk about the past 2 months. So that's a long time for a stock to hold a very high dollar amount when we're not even talking about financials with the company. This is all just theory. This is all money, fake money right now. This is still FOMO. So you're watching a stock that is being manipulated by investors, which great, good, grand. The question is, I think a lot of us are going, well, what is the bottom here for Trump media? What are investors going to let it land at? Is it going to stay in this $40 range until the summer, and then once we get into October, November, September, more than likely we'll start to see more movement on it. But obviously October, November are going to be key months for this stock to where we could really see a big bull run on it, because obviously let's it's a black and white picture here. We know what's happening. It's going to be Biden and Trump, and I still don't think they've announced it, which is insane. So with that, it's a weird election year. I mean, this is kind of weird that, we know it's going to happen, but we're like not talking about it as a country. So talking about the stock, I don't think the stock is done at all this year, but I do think that there should be some sort of reboot in the stock. Now, is it going to fall to 30 and that will start the reboot going in later into the year, or are we going to go back to 20 or even the high 10s where we see a reboot in the stock? See what I'm getting at here? It's not me being mean or being bearish on the stock. I'm just saying I think there's going to be a reboot. I think that's a safe word there, the reboot. I'm not trying to be mean. I think when I say things like this, people go like, no, you're just being negative. This thing's going to fly. It's very important to not get too attached to situations like this. This is still a very dangerous situation where buying in so high right now does leave room. If you're buying in for a long-term investment, like going into the summer, you possibly could have your money wrapped up here for quite a while. I think the heavy manipulation with this stock will more than likely evolve later in the year when we get into like August, September, and then October, November will be the heavy manipulation with this stock. But I think it's a month by month situation at this point too. So friends, that's kind of where I'm at with Trump media right here. I'm just watching it like the rest of you. I'm watching the numbers, watching the movement. It's very interesting right now. It's very interesting because it's, look at it this way. Like Reddit just came to market. Reddit, the site Reddit, a huge company that makes a shitload of money and worth a lot of money, a lot more than Trump media right now physically. There's nothing wrong with saying that. It's just the way it is. $50 stock right now on a good day. Now, I do believe Reddit will continue to take a loss here, and Reddit more than likely will fall down to a 20 high teen stock here by the end of the year. That's just probably what's going to happen. But Reddit is like a company that's been around making a lot of money, a lot more users, a lot more activity, a lot more broad band of users on it. But you're seeing Reddit kind of slowly fall down right now and not kind of get back to where it's going. When Reddit came to market, it was a $70 stock almost, but we're slowly seeing a heavy decline in Reddit, and that's kind of right there with Trump media right now. So it's very interesting. You have one company that is reporting trying to report good earnings and making a lot of money, Reddit, and then you have Trump media here where they've lost a lot of money. They don't really have a lot of revenue. And obviously it's a new company. We're not expecting it to. That's not even the game plan right now for what you should be investing in that stock for. It's still a hype play. So it's just it's a weird situation, and that's why I think that, to end this all, what I'm trying to say is that we're still watching Trump media here be highly, highly manipulated just by hype in it, just by investors moving it for no rhyme reason, just to make money on a day-to-day basis in the stock market. So there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm almost think there's got to be some kind of big reboot here. There's got to be some kind of big reboot to really punch it going into later into the year. So friends, that's my theory on it. Let me know what you think. I hope that wasn't negative. I just, this is what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure it out too, what's going to happen here. But we'll see. Friends, happy Wednesday. I will talk to you tomorrow, see what we talk about here. I'll try to mention some more stocks, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I really do mean that. Friends, thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.